Yo, 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 what up, what up, what up, what up? Shit Life says. Today, man, Rule, Fat Joe, two legends of kind of a different kind, you know what I'm saying? So that was the interesting part of the matchup, really, because it was like, people was like, yo, Ja was gonna wash Fat Joe, XYZ, but then you got kind of like the real hip hop heads is like, yo, Fat Joe's a legend. So first of all, y'all comment, like, subscribe, you know what I'm saying, right down there below. But yeah, man, y'all let me know, as always, y'all let me know what y'all felt about the verses, you know what I'm saying. We done had a couple good verses here now, you know what I'm saying, that's going on, just coming off of that Locks and Dipset joint, you know what I'm saying, and then before that, the Jeezy and Gucci joint. So it's kind of, I see where it's going, it's getting into a good place. And I'm enjoying it, man, as a fan of hip hop, just for real, just as a hip hop fan, it's just dope. It is a versus to where, you know what I'm saying, they be like, yeah, it's a winner. And a lot of times they be doing that, oh, everybody just gets to win, the culture wins. And I feel like there's some truth to that, though. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we do have to have winners, we got to have losers and stuff. But I think just as fans, man, we all get to appreciate greatness and what some of these people, these artists have meant to us over these years that we might have just forgot about, slept on, took for granted. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just got to go back and, you know what I mean, just yeah, just show some appreciation, and I think that's definitely what this is all about. But as for a winner, if y'all do have a winner, man, let me know who y'all think won. I do have my thoughts, and you know what I'm saying, we'll get into that in a second. But if you got a winner, a clear-cut winner, write down below and exactly why you think they won. But a lot of this big parts of this, you know what I'm saying, like, obviously Ja Rule's the bigger mainstream artist, you know what I'm saying? He had a huge career. For some of y'all that ain't old enough to understand how big Ja Rule was and what he meant to the culture at a specific time, he was on fire for a long time, like hot. So you know what I'm saying, to see him kind of be able to get celebrated, I think was just dope. That's probably the dopest part of the whole versus battle to me, was that actually Ja Rule could get some of his flowers right now. You know what I'm saying? You know, he's had a hard time since it started off with the whole him and 50 thing, and kind of, you know what I'm saying, that along with some other legal issues that the label was going through, Murder Inc., derailed his career, you know what I'm saying? So that kind of just took him completely off the board. But I think a lot of people forgot how special he, you know what I'm saying, he was as a talent, as a performer, you know what I'm saying, and just in hip hop in general. And Fat Joe said that was a lot of this. People felt like he was an underdog and like he would get washed by Ja. Fat Joe said that he really did it because he wanted to make sure Ja Rule, you know what I'm saying, was able to get celebrated like that. Nobody had really wanted to do a versus with him. Everybody had been ducking him. And you know what I'm saying, it's just to have a person like that get put back into prominence in hip hop, in the culture, you know what I'm saying, just in front of the people, I think was a super dope thing. And then shout out to Fat Joe, you know what I'm saying, the ultimate stand-up guy in hip hop, you know what I'm saying, the ultimate solid guy, just doing the right thing. That was definitely a power move. I definitely 100% salute you for that. That's some boss shit, and that's some real nigga shit. Just to know what I'm saying, like, you know what, ain't nobody else trying to let me just go up against him. Now, that being said, y'all don't be sleeping on Joe, man. I know a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, depends on how you feel about hip hop and how you feel about the hip hop culture is kind of how you took in the verses itself. Some of those songs, they're not, obviously not the pop songs that Ja Rule has, and Ja Rule's, you know what I'm saying, made in his career and found success with, crazy success with. But a lot of those songs that Fat Joe played, they just mean more to the culture. You know what I'm saying? Like, Fat Joe's been a staple in this culture since the early 90s. You know what I mean? Like, he was one of the first, and not even just as a rapper, like, he was one of the first businessmen. He had the FJ 560s. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know if y'all remember that. You know what I mean? If you remember that, man, drop that down below. That's a long time. But yeah, he had the FJ 560 leather coats when everybody else was rocking Avirexes. Obviously, Terror Squad, you know what I'm saying, Pun, Remy Ma, and you know what I'm saying, everything else that he had going on with that, to the Khaled's, to the Cool and Dre's. Like, he's just an influence. He was influential in bringing Wayne and Baby to Miami. Yeah, Fat Joe, just as a stand-up guy and as a respected man in hip-hop, you know what I'm saying, it just hits different. So some of his music, it's just realer music, you know what I'm saying. It hits a little bit more personal to the culture. So that was interesting to see how some people took that, how people, graded the whole verses, because I was seeing people like, yo, Ja's getting washed by Joe. He's spitting all that real shit. I'm seeing people saying, yo, Ja's motherfucking smacking this nigga around with these hits, you know what I'm saying? These singles that he had in his career. And I think it really just comes down to how you view hip hop and what type of hip hop fan you are. You know what I mean? To see what you appreciate in hip hop, because it's two distinctly different. You got a street hip hop and that's a pop hip hop. And I think we can't lose sight of that when judging the whole verses together, because you're judging two different kinds of acts. It would be like judging, Drake versus Yo Gotti. Like you just can't, like, you know what I'm saying? It's a different kind of music. But yeah, I think they both got off. I think they got off for their audiences, and I think, you know what I'm saying, they were both winners to their audience. The ladies definitely were a big part of the night. From Ja Rule bringing out Lil Mo and Vita, who, you know what I'm saying, she hasn't been seen in forever, you know what I'm saying. And later on, Ashanti. Fat Joe obviously bringing out Remy, who, you know what I'm saying, was great. All the ladies were looking great. They did their thing, performing great. Me myself, I had a little issue with the Remy Ma puns verse on Twins. You know what I'm saying? I think that's such a classic hard song, and she was the right person to do it. I just would have liked to see a little bit better performance of that song, because, one, the song meant so much. Two, Pun is an incredible rapper, and to go up there and perform that song, I think you need to take the time out to actually practice, rehearse, and get that flow down, just so it wasn't, because it didn't sound like they was all jumbled like Dipset rapping over tracks. They were actually rapping. So, you know what I mean? I think you kind of needed to perfect that, you know what I'm saying? It was a super dope thing, though. Shout out to, you know what I'm saying, Remy for doing this. Shout out to Big Pun, the legend, who I still say one of the best rappers ever. You know what I'm saying? I think he's fathered Eminem's whole style. That's just me, man. Y'all think I'm tripping, man? Let me know down below. But outside of that, yeah, man, the ladies did their thing. I thought it was kind of fucked up for Joe to do the whole let me buy the bags, the gifts. Like, bro, you just too solid of a nigga for the gimmicks, and you don't need the gimmicks, bro. You're a real nigga. You got real shit. You got cultural capital. Like, you don't need the gimmicks, my nigga. But, you know what I'm saying, whatever. And one noticeable thing that I don't know how I felt about was the Ashanti, right? So you look and see how when Joe brought out Remy, she'd be cool with y'all, but it was clear on what side she was on. That's her, you know what I'm saying, team, that's home, like, you know what I mean? And then Ashanti, even though it was definitely set up for them to go back and forth and do both, I don't think she was as strong as repping the home team, and that's whatever personal things they got going on, but I just didn't like the way that came off visually. Like, she just was, you know what I'm saying, the back and forth, and Joe was able to play on that and capitalize on that. I think at the end of the day, man, it's always team above anybody else. So you can just do the songs, but you gotta pop your shit back, kind of like how Remy popped her shit, you know what I'm saying, at Ja Rule. She was supposed to do that and stand up for her side, but, you know what I'm saying, it was all funny games. It was all hip-hop. This shit was great. I enjoyed it, man. Like I said, I'm starting to enjoy a lot of these verses a little bit more. It got shaky with some of them shits. I ain't gonna front. But I think the last few ones have been really good. I think this one was a dope one. It was definitely better than I expected. And, you know what I'm saying, as for a winner, like I says, I don't think that you can have a clear-cut winner. I think that depends on whose audience that you fall into. If you're like more poppy, catchy singles and, you know what I'm saying, big time, what's the chart-topping hit, Ja Rule obviously won hands down. I think if you're a little bit more into the street culture of hip-hop, the older generation of hip-hop, the, just more of a purist perspective of hip-hop, I think Fat Joe won that in a closer win than I think if, you're looking at it from a pop perspective. But I think definitely they both won. I think we won. And I know that shit sounds corny, and I hate that shit when people say, oh yeah, everybody won the culture one. But I really think that's true in this case, man. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to everybody involved, man. You know what I mean? Y'all keep coming, man. Hopefully they keep this coming. What's the next one? I don't even know what the next one is. I forget. But yeah, man, y'all let me know. Like I said, man, anything y'all disagree with, agree with, just further conversation, man. Let me know down below. Yeah, we out of here.